Lesson 21. Comprehension. The aim of comprehension is to test the ability of a student to read and understand a passage. On the basis of the content, some questions have to be answered at the end of the passage within a limited time. One should be able to understand the subject the passage deals with. The following guidelines should be kept in mind while reading a passage for comprehension. 1. Read the given passage carefully and try to understand the main subject it deals with. 2. Note the important points in your mind. 3. Look for an answer to each question and write it in a brief manner. 4. The answer should be written in your own words. 5. If you do not understand a particular word, then read the passage again to understand its meaning in the given context. Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Eagles are the birds of prey. The tawny eagle is a large bird of prey which is about 62 to 72 centimeters in length and has a wingspan of 165 to 185 centimeters. It usually weighs 1.6 to 2.4 kilograms. Like all other eagles, it belongs to the family Accipitridae. It mostly breeds in many parts of Africa, both north and south of Sahara Desert, and across the tropical region from southwestern Asia to India. It lays 1 to 3 eggs in a stick nest on a trees or on the ground. Throughout it found open dry habitats like semi-desert, desert, steppes of savanna plains. These eagles are large with tawny upper parts and blackish flight feathers and tail, whereas the lower back is very pale. When compared to the steppe eagle, this species is paler and smaller. The call of the tawny eagle is a crow-like barking. Though it is a silent bird most of the time, it eats largely fresh carrion of all kinds. It also kills small mammals like rabbits, reptiles, and birds as big as a guinea fowl. I find antonyms of the given words from the above passage. A. Few. B. Small. C. Bright. D. Noisy. 2. Answer the following questions on the basis of your reading of the given passage. A. What is the length of the tawny eagle and how much does the wingspan measure? B. To which family does the tawny eagle belong? C. In what kind of habitat are these eagles found? D. In which regions do the tawny eagles mostly breed? E. Describe the appearance of the tawny eagle. F. Give details of the food habits of these eagles. 3. Match the following groups of words and write the complete sentences. A. The tawny eagle. In a stick nest in a trees or on the ground. B. It lays 1 to 3 eggs. Weighs 1.6 to 2.4 kilograms. C. The call of the tawny eagle. This species is paler and smaller. D. In comparison to steppe eagle, is a crow-like barking. Answer. I. A. Few many. B. Small large. C. Bright pale. D. Noisy silent. 2. A. The tawny eagle is about 60 to 272 centimeters in length and its wingspan measures 165 to 185 centimeters. B. The tawny eagle belongs to the family of Accipitridae. C. These eagles are mostly found in open dry habitats like semi-desert, desert, steppes of savanna plains. D. The tawny eagles mostly breed in many parts of Africa, both north and south of Sahara Desert and across the tropical region from southwestern Asia to India. E. Tawny eagles are large with tawny upper parts and blackish flight feathers and tail, while the lower back is very pale. F. These eagles eat fresh carrion of all kinds. They also kill small mammals like rabbits, reptiles, and large birds almost the size of guinea fowl. 3. A. The tawny eagle weighs 1.6 to 2.4 kilograms. B. It lays 1 to 3 eggs in a stick nest in a trees or on the ground. C. The call of the tawny eagle is a crow-like barking. D. In comparison to steppe eagle, this species is paler and smaller. To comprehend means to understand. This exercise is meant to test the ability of a student to understand correctly what he reads. It is also meant to test the ability of the student to write what he understands. The students are advised to follow the following guidelines. A. Read the passage carefully. Read the questions and then read the passage second time. B. Answer these questions in your own language. C. The answers must be brief and concise. Passage 1. Read the passage carefully. Then answer the questions that follow. The Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, was established under the Human Resources Ministry to provide education to those who have been left out by the conventional system. This means that a large number of people who cannot be accommodated in campus-style institutions of learning will now be able to fulfill their desire for an education. The open system of education provides reasonable relaxation in entry or admission requirements. Those who have no 10+2 background can register for graduation and other vocational courses if they have in-service experience or do a bridge course. The age limit is relaxed considerably and the student who may be employed or a housewife may study at his or her own pace. Thus, graduation may be completed in 8 years. Vocational courses like management, computers, water management, and library science are now open to a larger section than campuses can afford. The study centers of the university where the students are free, not obliged, to come to consult counselors and watch. Educational videos are located in existing institutions of each district headquarters. The use of existing infrastructure and human resource in the form of part-time counselors or teachers of various institutions minimizes the cost of education. This system of education is affordable than conventional education. This further widens the catchment area of open education. Today, the university is offering 400 courses to about 2 lakh students. The IGNOU has further been given the task of coordinating and updating the courses offered by 44 correspondence institutes and 5 state open universities. By networking and avoiding duplication of efforts, the Open University will assist in economizing the whole distance education system in the country. The system still has teething problems, like irregular dispatch of materials, printed books, to students, but the system, once it catches on, will make a mark in the development or education in India. Now answer the following questions. A. Give a suitable title for the above passage. B. What is the aim of IGNOU? C. How are students being benefited by IGNOU? D. How many courses are being offered by the university? E. Is establishing a university like IGNOU the right step by the government in the field of education? Comment. Passage 2. Read the passage carefully. Then answer the questions that follow. Crusoe could not swim well because the waves were too strong for him to sink into the water. For some time he did know where he was. But the waves carried him to the shore, where he lay on the wet sand, almost dead. After a while he got up and looked around for his friends. But all he saw were 3 hats, a cup and 2 shoes floating on the water. Crusoe did not know what to do, and he ran up and down the shore as if he was mad. He was alone. He had nothing to eat and no fresh water to drink. But suddenly a little stream coming down from a hill caught his eyes and he ran to it and found that it was fresh water. Taking up the water in his hands, he drank it gladly because he was very thirsty. Now answer the following questions. A. What happened to Crusoe when he could not swim? B. What did he see floating on the water? C. What did he do when he reached the shore? D. Why did he run up and down the shore like a madman? E. Why did he go towards the little stream? F. Explain the words in the passage. A. Around. B. Gladly. G. Give a suitable heading to the above passage. Passage 3. Read the passage carefully. Then answer the questions that follow. One day a wonderful plate made of gold fell from heaven into the court of a temple in Benares, and on the plate these words were inscribed, "A gift from heaven to him who loves best." The priests at once made a proclamation that every day at 12 o'clock, all who would like to claim the plate should assemble at the temple to have their kind deeds judged. Every day for a whole year all kinds of holy men, hermits, scholars and nobles came and related to the priests their deeds of charity, and the priests in solemn council heard their claims. At last they decided that the one who seemed to be the greatest lover of mankind was a rich man who had that very year given all his wealth to the poor. So they gave him the plate of gold, but when he took it in his hand, it turned to worthless lead, though when he dropped it in his amazement onto the floor, it became gold again. For another year claimants came, and the priests awarded the prize 3 times. But the same thing happened, showing that God did not consider these men worthy of the gift. Meanwhile a large number of beggars came and lay about the temple gate, hoping that the claimants who came would give them alms to prove they were worthy of the golden plate. It was a good time for the beggars, because the pilgrims gave them plenty of money, but they gave them no sympathy, not even a look of pity. At last a simple peasant, who had heard nothing about the plate of gold, came. He was so touched by the sight of the miserable beggars that he wept. When he saw a poor blind and maimed wretch at the temple gate, he knelt at his side and took his maimed hands in his and comforted him with kind words. When this peasant came to the temple, he was shocked to find it full of men boasting of their kind deeds and quarreling with the priests. One priest, who held the golden plate in his hand, seeing the peasant standing there, beckoned to him. The peasant came and knowing nothing about the plate, took it in his hands. At once it shone out with 3 times its former splendor, and the priest said, "Son, the gift is yours, for you are the one I love best." Now answer the following questions. A. What was the plate of gold meant for? B. It took the priests 1 year to decide who the plate of gold was to be awarded to. Why did they choose that man? C. What happened when that man took the plate of gold? D. What happened when the peasant took the plate of gold? E. Complete these sentences. I. A large number of beggars gathered in front of the temple because 2. God did not consider the first 4 men worthy of the gift because they 3. The 5th man, the peasant, proved to be worthy of the gift because he F. Find words in the first 2 paragraphs which mean I. Great surprise. 2. Public announcement. Passage 4. Read the passage carefully. Then answer the questions that follow. If there is a little hole or tear in our clothes, we should get it stitched in time. If we fail to do so, 9 or more stitches will be needed. What the proverb means is that a small piece of work done now may save a lot of work later. Let us examine the case of a farmer. A good farmer does everything in time. He irrigates the field, adds good fertilizers and pesticides. He knows any delay will reduce the yield. Shakespeare says, delays have dangerous ends. There are many students who put off studying their subjects. On the eve of examinations, they burn the midnight oil. Very often, they do not get enough time in the end to finish their subjects. Someone has rightly said, putting off easy things makes it hard, and putting off hard ones makes it impossible. Now answer the following questions. A. What will happen if we fail to do a small piece of work now? B. What does a good farmer do? C. What happens with the students who put off studying their subjects? D. Find out words from the passage that are antonyms to the following words. 1. Safe. 2. Little. E. Write suitable title to the passage. Like, share, and subscribe.